let us move on to methods of inquiry. To gain a deeper understanding, particularly of theoretical concepts, students need to gain knowledge and capacities for specific methods of inquiry. So just now we have learned that, like theoretical concepts can wait till middle stage, which means children should come to sixth grade. Okay. For example, even if the methods, if the theoretical concepts are even introduced before that, what are we supposed to, what capacities are supposed to be built in the children? That is what we are going to explore here. These methods are particularly to different types of knowledge. Mathematics, science, and social science have their own methods of inquiry and logic of reasoning. Okay, so they have got their own methods of inquiry. It is not that with the same method of inquiry, we can explore every discipline or every curriculum, every curricular subject. They have got their specific and logical inquiry methods. They have specific theories and a web of concepts, the understanding of which gives insight into a new way of thinking about the world. They have their own concept. Each subject has got their own concept. Okay. And most of the subjects revolve around the center concept. Okay. Social has a concept and the whole thing revolves, the whole subject of social revolves around this particular core concept. It's the same for science and mathematics also. And what happens when we are, allowing child to explore these and to develop these capacities to carry on inquiry on these subjects, their way of looking at the world is also changing. These methods, theories, and concepts increase the depth of inquiry within a specific convention or tradition. Okay, the depth of inquiry is increasing. Okay, similarly, art has its specific forms and traditions. An example, visual art, music, dance, and theater. Understanding these forms and acquiring the relevant practices enable the students for a deeper exploration of aesthetic experience. Aesthetic experience means experiencing the beauty. Visual art has got its own beauty. Music has got its own beauty. Dance also the same way. Theater also has got its own beauty, isn't it? So once we introduce child to all these types of arts, what happens is they start developing a sense of looking at things from beauty perspective of beauty. Specific forms of sports and practices such as yoga have their own methods. We have seen curricular subjects, we have seen art. Now it is about physical education. Okay, yoga, it has got its own method, its own lifestyle, we should say. By getting introduced to these methods, students gain capacities for systematic and rigorous methods of inquiry in specific forms of understanding. They start inquiring about these subjects or these concepts, okay, through their own method. They try to inquire about mathematical concepts with the methods which are there in mathematics. The same way for science, same way for arts and physical education as well. Teaching in this stage is more formal and the emphasis is on understanding the conventions and the rule of the game of each form of understanding and the necessary capacity to play within these rules. See, here rule of the game in the sense every subject has got its own way to deal with it. Okay, how do we look at history? How do we understand geography? There is one particular rule that we have to understand about each and every subject. So teaching depends upon this. Okay, if mathematics is about logic, reasoning, and problem solving, then social has got some other, concept in it. This way, the teacher should introduce that particular concept to the child of each and every subject so that children develop inquiry based upon those, inputs which are given by the teacher. The next type of exploration is disciplinary exploration. In this stage, students gain disciplinary depth with each type of knowledge. The mode of inquiry becomes exploratory again, like in the first stage, but within a framework of a discipline or firm. Here, it is again inquiry only, but the same thing is that within that framework of that particular discipline or curricular subject, they cannot cross those limits. Okay, they can go with only that framework. For example, a student with sufficient capacities or skills for dancing and a grounded knowledge of Bharatanatyam as a form of dance can now use these capacities and knowledge for creative expressions through dance. Okay, if they know dance very well, they can convey the meaning of any particular concept to the people with the help of dance, isn't it? Similarly, after gaining sufficient capacities for scientific inquiry through experimentation and instrumentation in biology, students can pursue interests and challenging questions about life forms and attempt to answer these questions with the discipline of biology. In biology, they know how to do experiments, okay, and how to do, several things that are based with laboratory. Now, if they want to explore about human life or life that is related about animals, plant life and all, they can use these experimentation methods and all to explore about that, which means they should understand what are we supposed to use, which subjects inquiry method are we supposed to use in all these things. A more sophisticated form of exploration would be to utilize their knowledge in multiple disciplines and approach problems with interdisciplinary solution. Okay, maybe if we want to convey one idea about life processes, a student can express it through dance also. These days we are using drama and art in curricular subjects, isn't it? So this is a more sophisticated way, that is using different types of inquiry methods and all to explore other disciplines. Just 1 second.
अब हुई connect.
Hello, sir.
Moving on to 2.3, that is stage design.
Sir.
भाई 61 थे 36 रह गए.
Sir, I have a query, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Will you please address?
Yes, please let me know.
We couldn't hear a little bit clearly.
Maybe you have to sit in a place wherein there is proper network, ma'am. Yeah, because
Sir, will
maybe
you share the techniques, please, right now, whatever you shared, if possible.
I didn't get you, ma'am. What techniques you are talking about?
What are the inquiry based, like so many techniques you have saying, disciplinary methods. Will you be sharing some of the things in the chat box, or I am noting down, but still I want the
It is
materials
directly from
to
the
access.
NCF document, ma'am. It is directly from the NCF document. You can download the document.
Any link is there, sir? If possible, can you provide us?
Let me see about the link, ma'am. But directly in Google, if you type NCF 2023, you can get the document.
Okay.
Yeah.
For all the subjects, sir, general it is for techniques for general.
It's
All
a
the
general
levels, all
thing.
the
It's a
stages, it
general
is
thing.
there, senior, secondary.
It's a general thing. We are discussing in general
Okay,
about
sir.
all the stages.
Thank you.
So section 2.3, it's all about stage design. We have got 10 more minutes. Hopefully we can finish this section as well. So the curriculum for the 4 stages of schooling, which means foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage, based on the vision of NEP and on the considerations of child development, concept nature. Concept nature means complexity of the concept, at the same time abstraction of the concept, of subjects and the appropriate modes of inquiry at each age range. So what type of inquiry can the child develop, okay, in each stage? So considering all these things, designing of stages for school has been done. So foundational stage, let us explore what is foundational stage. The foundational stage is for children of ages between 3 and 8. Children start schooling in the foundational stage. The design is based on the principles of early childhood care and education. This is what, like the principles here that we have taken is early childhood care and education. Okay, it's again a very big subject, though we have several aspects of ECCE here. Okay, if you can go and explore about early childhood care and education or do some course, that will be really wonderful. So early childhood care and education ideally consists of flexible, multifaceted, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and inquiry-based learning comprising of alphabets, languages, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor play, puzzles, logical thinking, problem solving, drawing, painting, and other visual art, craft, drama and puppetry, music and movement. So all these, things are to be provided at early childhood care and education, which is right from age of 3 to 8. Okay. It also includes a focus on developing social capacities. Not only these things, but also social capacities, sensitivity, okay, towards things, good behavior. Children should develop good behavior, courtesy. Children should, like incorporate courtesy. They have to incorporate ethics. They have to incorporate personal and public cleanliness. They should learn how to be clean personally and in public place, what type of cleanliness we are supposed to follow. Teamwork and cooperation. The overall aim of early childhood care and education will be to attain optimal outcomes in the domain of physical and motor development. Okay, fine motor development, gross motor development, also cognitive development, socio-emotional ethical development, cultural, artistic development, and the development of communication and early language, which is literacy and numeracy. So these are the things. This is a very important, uh, you know, like uh, like piece of text that we have to always remember, especially teachers and principals who are having nursery to grade 2 in your schools. Okay, so you can mark a star over there. So all these things are to be developed in, like foundation stage, that is from nursery to grade 2. Here, in this particular stage, that is in foundational stage, wherein we have got children between the age group of 3 to 8, what should be the curricular structure? So it is divided into domains that are closely linked to the developmental domains of the child. What are the developmental domains? Yesterday we have discussed physical development, socio-emotional ethical development, cognitive development, language and literacy development, and aesthetic and cultural development. So the curriculum should be closely related to all these developments. The mother tongue is emphasized for language and literacy development and to ease and make more effective learning in other domains as well. So it has been several times emphasized by many people, even in training, CBSE trainings also, that in foundation stage, using mother tongue is really helpful for the teachers to bring the students on the track of understanding the language and numeracy to the core. The 5 domains of development are also informed by the Panchakosha imagination. Yesterday we have discussed the Panchakosha development, isn't it? So all these senses and all we have discussed there in the Panchakosha. Now that is about curriculum. Let me recapitulate about curriculum once again. Curriculum is closely related to the domains, developmental domains of the child, and we are supposed to emphasize more upon using mother tongue for making them understand the basics and foundations of literacy and numeracy. Moving on to content. Textbooks are used only from grade 1. Please remember this. There is no need of using any textbooks in nursery, LKG, and UKG. Okay, only from grade 1. And most of the content consists of concrete materials like toys, puzzles, and manipulatives. Teachers who are into mathematical background, they know they can easily understand what manipulatives are. Along with these materials, learning experiences organized through physical exploration of the classroom and outdoor space becomes the more appropriate content. Okay, so we have to organize learning in such a way that they explore things within the classroom. At the same time, outside as well with the help of this concrete material, maybe toys, puzzles, and excuse me. In later years of this stage, worksheets can start playing a bigger role. In foundation stage, like in grade 1 and grade 2 and all, you can start using worksheets for the children. Children's literature is a very important source of content for language and literacy development. Children's literature, which means stories for children like Panchatantra or Katha Saritasagar, all such sort of things we are supposed to incorporate so that it helps the children to learn the language. Okay, because they become curious about stories and all. Through that, they will learn vocabulary. Moving on, pedagogy. What type of pedagogy we have to use? We have seen what type of curriculum we have to use. Curriculum should be closely related with the domains of development. In the second point that we have explored is content. Content is all about, organizing the things. Okay, learning things only from grade 1. We are supposed to use textbooks. Worksheets also are to be used from grade 1. Mostly we are supposed to use toys and, like puzzles and all. Now let us go to pedagogy, which means the method of teaching. The pedagogical approach suggested is play-based and emphasis that nurturing, caring relationships between the teacher and the children. So here in this particular foundation stage, that is from nursery to grade 2, teacher should be very caring and lovable. Okay. And always we are supposed to use only play-way method of teaching till grade 2. Till grade 2. The pedagogical design should allow for a balance between self-paced individual learning to a more social group-based learning. So play can be organized in such a way that the child can explore things by playing on his or her own at the same time and a group play as well along with the peers. Development of foundational capacities in literacy and numeracy would require systematic guidance from the teacher as well as adequate time for the child to practice and repeat on their own. See, foundational literacy and numeracy are to be given more significance and emphasis in foundational stage. We should allow the child to practice more. We shouldn't hurry up to introduce words fast in foundational stage. Okay, whole class instruction should be balanced with time for children to work on their own, either with material or with worksheets. It is not that the teacher is going and teaching in the class and finishing off the content. It is that after teaching every piece of content, we should give time for the children to work on what the content is. Practically, they should practice. Okay. And then only we are supposed to move to the other content. That balance the teacher has to maintain. How are we supposed to conduct assessments in foundation stage? Most assessments are observations made by teachers and not explicit testing of abilities of students. It is not that you will conduct literally a pen paper test. It is the observations done by the teacher regularly on regular intervals. Worksheets used by the children can give information to teachers about progress in learning. If at all you are using worksheets, okay, if the child is doing the worksheet on his or her own, that can be considered as a part of the assessment, but no explicit assessment or literally an examination format. It is an observation. Moving on to classroom arrangement, children of this and have adequate opportunities for engaging their natural curiosity and exploration. They are talking about the structure of the classroom. It should be a bit huge so that children can move. Okay, there should be chance for the children to go out of the classroom as well. Okay, classroom arrangement should reflect this need of children and should not restrict their movement. Example, through the placement of play or activity or learning corners that keep the center of the room free and open. Okay, the center of the room should be always free and open. You can have different activity corners in the classroom. Always, especially in foundation stage, we have to remember that the child should be free to move however they want to move. Okay, though we are asking them at a particular point of time to sit, still there should be a chance for the child to move easily. Teachers, since the relationship between children and the teacher is critical for this stage, the same teacher would engage in all the domains and there would not be any subject or domain specific teacher, which means literally we should go with the mother teacher concept here. The pupil teacher ratio is also expected to be lower since individual attention and assessment through observation are necessary. Okay. Till grade 2, they are emphasizing upon having mother teacher. Okay. And also to, the teacher student ratio to be less, so that, the teacher will get more opportunities to observe the children. The foundational stage bridges the divide between the home environment of the child and the formal school environment. That's the reason we have come up with the Vidya Pravesh module. It should be like a bridge between the child's home environment and formal school environment, so that he should get adapted to the school culture. It develops capacities in foundational literacy and numeracy that enable the student to learn all other subject areas also. Okay, foundational literacy and numeracy are very important in foundational stage. We have to come up with lots of emphasis and more practice on numeracy and literacy, because those are going to help the child to explore the other subjects further. In addition to these capacities, it develops valuable dispositions for active learning and enables students to become engaged learners in formal school environments. Apart from that, okay, it is getting the child ready. The foundational stage is getting the child ready for the formal school environment from preparatory stage. Play and exploration are the natural modes through which children learn, and the foundational stage utilizes these modes to promote valuable capacities and dispositions. All the capacities and dispositions which we have discussed in the first chapter, okay, they are to be attained with the help of play and exploration in foundation stage. So a very good and important learning for today's session is that the whole foundational stage should be run with the help of play and exploration methods. So that is all about today's session. Yeah, and we have learned about stages, how the stages are divided, methods of inquiry, and developments that happen in different stages. So tomorrow we will continue with the rest of the chapter. So that's all for today, teachers. Thank you so much, and do attend on regular basis so that we get to know more about NCF. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.